You need to get punched in the face every now and then so you know that you're not a wimp. I figured I would make this as soon as I got home from jujitsu. It's actually a little better than I thought. It was really bad an hour ago. Took a big toe from a black belt. And jujitsu today, right in the eye. Oh, it hurt. It watered, got red. Then rolling with a kid, took an elbow to this cheek. I don't know if I'm just ugly. They don't show. Well, maybe they weren't so bad. When you get hit, it can suck. I mean, it always sucks. But how accustomed are you to receiving blows and bouncing back? It could be literal physical blows. It could be emotional blows. Could be business blows. But life is meant to be lived. Business is a contact sport. Sales is a contact event, profession. In this world of being contacted, you're going to lose sometimes, and maybe not even lose. Right? I didn't necessarily lose these training rounds today. They were some setbacks, taking a toe to the eye, taking an elbow to the cheek. But if you are not accustomed to being hit, being in the arena, then any little setback is going to set you back. And part of me wants to say you can't have that. But it's human to be affected when you are struck. It is superhuman. Okay. It is significant when a severe blow barely makes you break your stride. Okay. Let's look at Elon Musk right now. Love him or hate him. He's certainly in the news. Everybody knows who he is, from launching, rockets, buying and renaming X, Twitter to X, the Boring Company, Tesla. He's attacked quite often. How do you roll with it? When he bought Twitter, laid everybody off, he took some heat for how he handled it, and I just observed it. People can badmouth him, call him names or whatever, but he is remaining in the public eye, and his net worth continues to grow. And like I said, I don't want to debate his morals, his ethics, whatever. Just using that as an example. How well do you take the heat? Does one little comment, one bad review make you go suck your thumb and hide for a day, a week? I see countless people making comments like that because of politics, literally saying they're taking days off of work, mental health days, because of what some jerks in DC are doing. Like, give me a break. Your competition hopes that things like that trigger you and set you back and get you out of the game because they're moving forward. You need to get tough. When I started jiu-jitsu January of 2017, so I just literally passed my 8-year anniversary. I was almost 47 years old, but for months and months and months, I was bruised. I was so bruised. My collarbones, my forearms, constantly bruised, and most of it was due to two reasons. One, I didn't know what I was doing, so I was spastic, and I was fighting a lot of other white belts who didn't know what they were doing. And they were spastic, and I'm a big guy. So people went extra hard on me. And so people going hard, not knowing what we're doing, being new, but also not being tough. My body was not physically toughened. So just like you can develop calluses on your hands and your feet from working, from walking, um, your body, and I don't know the science behind it, but your body gets tougher the more blows that it takes. And so, like at this point, there's literally no bruises on my body, and I train 6 days a week. So you become tougher, you become more efficient. The longer you do something, the more you enjoy it. Even the toes in the eye and the elbows to the cheek. Um, it's just part of it. Okay. So get in the arena, stay in the arena. That is the only way to get tough and to stay tough and to move ahead. Life is hard, business is hard. But I do think right now, early 2025, um, there's going to be a lot of opportunity in the next 4 years. Okay. Like Trump or not, he is making changes. And where there's change, there's opportunity. Where there's chaos, there's opportunity. Everybody knows the saying, buy when there's blood in the streets, but they forget that, or maybe never even knew that sorry, I've been sick for weeks. The other part of that quote is that buy when there's blood in the streets, even if it's your own blood. Okay. So if you have had some setbacks, and looking at politics and Trump and Elon, if they're not your guys, it may be a setback for you. You may not like it, you may not appreciate it. Um, don't let it trigger you. If you like these guys, don't let it trigger you in the positive. Well, maybe, right? Maybe you'll see some opportunity because you are opportunistic. You are upbeat about the change. But just because they're making some changes doesn't mean you will benefit or you will be hurt. It's all in, Wayne Gretzky, skating to where the puck is going. Take a step back, look at what is happening in the world, look at what is happening in our country, and skate to where the puck is going. That's AI. That's crypto. Tools that's made in America. That's what's going to be happening right now. That's what I see happening for the next 4 years. So, and again, you can like it or not. It's probably going to happen though. So invest in it, address it. At a minimum, protect yourself from those potential changes. A friend of mine has been part of my inner circle for several years, and he does transcription services. And I've been pushing him, to leverage these tools more often. He already uses AI for his transcription services. He works a lot in a legal space, so for the moment, he's protected because they still need humans reviewing things, but AI is going to affect his business. And I've been sharing ideas with him on how to pivot, right? keep doing what he's doing, um, but understand that it could change drastically, dramatically, and overnight. So, what are you doing to protect yourself from these changes? And hiding your head, hunkering down, ignoring things, hoping for the best. Hope is not a strategy. Ignoring an issue, I don't think has ever made the issue better. So, oh, but Wes, I'll get out there. I might get poked in the eye with a big toe. I might take an elbow to the cheek. I might get punched right in the nose. Yes, you might. I was talking to my instructor. He said over the weekend, there's a kid, I don't know, like 10, 11 maybe. One of the best kids in the school, super dynamic, explosive, and small though, like 50, 60 pounds. He may only be like 9, but put a knee right in the professor's instructor's nose. And he's like, stop. So when you're getting after it, you're going to break a nail. You're going to get punched in the face. Okay. So, but it beats sitting on the sidelines. It beats being a spectator. If you're in business, if you're in sales, and business is sales, like it or not, all of business is selling. So you've got to engage. You got to mix it up. And yes, sometimes you'll take a blow. It may knock you out. Okay. Who is in your corner to get you back up on your feet? How do you learn from that experience? How do you, sorry, how do you break it down? How do you analyze it? How do you learn from it? How do you identify the weakness? How do you identify the gap that led to that blow? so it doesn't happen again. That's all you can do. When I first got into sales, when I got out of the Air Force in '97, I joined a financial services company. For 2 weeks, we hung out in Memphis for training, and we had to cold call into the auditorium where the instructor was, and the other like 30 students sitting there listening to us getting just railroaded by the instructor. Everybody had to do it. And then as the days went on, we would cold call at night in a bullpen, and everybody was listened to. When I wanted to get better at speaking, I joined a 2-day program. We would speak. We'd be recorded. Back then, we had VHS tapes. We'd go into another office, little cubicle, and watch ourselves. Um, there ain't nothing like watching yourself. When I hired a sales coach in 2006, one of the first things he had me do was buy some software, and it was hardware too. You plug it into your physical phone, on the desk, and record the calls, and we would debrief them. So if you want to get better, you must enter the arena. Then you must break down the play. When I played football, I hated the Air Force Academy, helmet behind me there, and we watched game film. We watched it in high school, we watched it in college. They watch it in the pros. You watch game film. Hell, sometimes we'd watch practice film to see how we're doing. We would evaluate the competition. We'd see their key players, their key plays, and we would work up ways to attack it. So when you understand your opponent, when you understand the obstacles that you struggle with, once you identify them, it's good news, right? Because we had scouts, right? We had coaches that would go watch the other teams. And of course, we had video even back in the 80s. But seeing them in person would show you some different things. So we would get a scouting report. And I've always used this analogy in sales. Let's say you're playing a team, and whenever it's third and long, they have this tall wide receiver, number 88. They put him to the wide side of the field, and they run a slant or a quick post to him. When it's third and long, if you've seen that and you've defended against it, you've worked up a scheme, you know how to address it. Are you nervous when it's third and long, or are you excited? Right? You can shift the strong safety out. You can bring the cornerback up. Maybe you put the cornerback back and out to lull them, to lure them into, thinking they don't know that you don't know what you're doing. And then maybe the safety comes up, right? Maybe the linebacker cheats out. Maybe the defensive end sprints backwards to get in the lane. But you get excited when you see the competition doing what you've prepared for. So same thing in sales. When you understand the potential objections you can get, and at the end of the day, whatever you're selling, there's only a handful of key objections you can ever get. Pricing, availability, payments, warranty, interoperability, whatever. How do you support them with onboarding, service after sale? I mean, there's only a handful of things. So once you know what they are, in an ideal world, you negate them from ever coming up. You address and neutralize the objection before it can ever happen. When that kid elbowed me today, he's much younger and much smaller. So I let these kids work. I let them run around, get crazy. I don't give them 100%. I'll smash them. But there are times when we're doing drills and whatever, I'll fight a little harder, make them work a little harder. And I will, and again, everybody has their strengths and their weaknesses. But when you know their strength and you can negate it ahead of time, maybe the guy's good with his feet. Maybe he's good with chokes. This one kid, he's very good with chokes. He has a particular choke that he likes. So rather than fight that choke, I know how he gets to that point. I stop him before he can even get there. So it's literally the old, stitch in time saves 9. I don't want to overcome an objection. I want to address the potential objection before it ever pops up. That's my dirty little secret in sales. I hate old school selling. I hate old school, um, hardcore closing and overcoming objections. You see a lot of the guys nowadays focus on the close. That's where 80% of the sales made. Well, if you open well, right? And I'll put a link if you want one of these coins. But I've had these made years ago. I saw a Jeffrey Gitomer. But learn how to open relationships rather than close deals. That's that's the secret to a long, successful life in sales. I've been in sales since '97 when I got out of the Air Force. Like I said, I've had the sales whisper since 2006. It has provided for my family of nine, 7 kids, wife, a couple dogs, by my ability to open conversations, open relationships versus focusing on closing sales. But it did not come easy. I lost a lot. I got hit a lot. I got stumped a lot. The think it overs, the stalls, the put offs. May I ask what this call is regarding? Is he expecting your call? Can I put you through the voicemail? Okay. Hey, I'm going to need you to sharpen your pencil. Uh, I've gotten every objection you've ever heard, and I've gotten a lot of them, but I'm still in the game. It gets easy now. Okay. It's fun now. The deals I work on, big HubSpot deal I just closed with a partner, December 31st. Well, we closed on the 30th. About $150,000, 60 plus thousand in software, 70, $80,000 in support in onboarding, plus a little bit extra. So it's a nice deal. And it was easy. It was about 6 weeks from introduction to close. It was based on relationships. The prospect knew me. I knew him. He's known my reputation. He reached out to me for assistance. I told him straight up it was more than I could do personally, but I knew who I could trust to help bring it all together. Brought in Dan, the three of us, piece of cake. Talked everything through, made sure we could meet the objectives, made sure it was within the budget, made sure that it made economical sense. There was no close. There was no pressure. It was an easy and obvious choice to move forward. But again, I've learned this through literally decades of getting punched. Selling is a full contact sport. But what haven't seen the numbers in a while. They say it's the second highest profession behind, I think, being a surgeon. And you can earn that kind of money though without going $200,000, $500,000 in debt, and 12 years of postgraduate school and residency and all that other stuff. So, and then you can still make your own schedule. Surgeons kind of can, but you know what? I like my own schedule. So, hey, I hope this helped. Get in the game, train jujitsu if you haven't. Make those calls. If you get stumped, find a mentor. Find somebody that can guide you through the tough times, because it can be dark when you're getting punched in the face, when you're losing deals, when you're getting stumped, when prospects are ghosting on you, when they don't respect you, when they are late for a call, when they show up, but instead of an hour, they give you 20 minutes. Instead of bringing, the decision maker, he sends some of his lackeys. We've all had those deals happen. Those situations come up. I found a mentor. I found a 12-week training program back in 2006 that changed my life. And it showed me the systems, the processes to stop getting hit. Okay. And then when I did get hit, they were lighter blows. They were glancing blows. I was able to anticipate them better and negate most of them. I hired him as my mentor, changed my life. Okay. So find a program, find a course, create one if you don't like it. Find a mastermind, create a mastermind, but stop going it alone. Okay. Rocky had a trainer. Mike Tyson had a trainer. Tiger Woods had a trainer. Tom Brady had trainers, coaches. Okay. Stop going it alone and you'll go much farther. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll go sell something.